Hey everyone, and a very excited welcome to the 90th video of my 90-day dream challenge, or impossible challenge, whichever one it wants to be. If you can, I'd like you to stay with this video. It's going to be a bit of a longer one, but it's going to be sharing what I've learned and how I'm feeling now because of it, and lots of different things. So I first wanted to share that for the past week, I feel a little vulnerable, and I feel a little, I feel vulnerable in sharing this, but I feel I've been out of alignment. What I mean by that is I don't really feel like I've been true to my values, true to my beliefs. In creating the videos recently, what I was doing is I was making them, but kind of just making them to make them, just to keep on going. And although I think there's some real power and strength in that, and sometimes just putting your head down and doing it because it means something to you, there have been times where I felt like I've got this wonderful opportunity to share something so beautiful with you, with whoever is listening, and to kind of feel like, oh, I'm just going to do it. I'm just gonna make this, and it's not going to be so great, but so be it. And I've looked at that, and where I want to show up more authentically in my life is to allow myself to say and be more vulnerable and say, you know what, I'm really not feeling it today. And it means so much to me when I hear other people say that, and it becomes so powerful because you see the truth of who they are. So in saying that, I want to get to what I have learned over these 90 days. To begin with, man, I felt fear. I was so afraid because I'd said, this is what I'm going to do, and then I put it online. And I said to you guys, I put it out there, and I said, I'm going to do this. And so there was really no way going back, and that's how it's been. And I also said I wanted to be vulnerable, and I wanted to be authentic. And that was a constant reminder for me when I was coming up and I was showing up on these videos or showing up in my life and saying, ooh, I don't want someone to see that. I don't want someone to know about that. And that's when it really becomes challenging. That's when it's hard to show up, and that's when it's so important to show up. And what I've got from that is the opportunity to be seen. In my life, in the past 3 months, I have allowed myself to be seen. I've seen myself. I've seen my inner child so much more, LJ. I've looked at him, and I've said, it's safe. It's safe for you to come out. It's safe for you to be childish. It's safe for you to play. It's safe to be authentically who you are in this world. And that was coming from what is a real fear in doing these videos. And I think what people don't know about me is some of these videos I share, they may seem so easy or simple or authentic to me, but they're not always. A lot of times they're not. And when I was starting out, not just these videos, before, every time I had to get over the fear of thinking, what will people think of me? Because I'm putting myself out there. I'm putting myself out there to everyone who can see. I'm putting it on my personal feed, so it's not as if it's some private group. It's for everyone to see, and that is scary. It brings in fear. And I felt that a lot. Especially at the beginning. And it still comes in, especially when I'm making a video that is really true to me. And I think that's the case when with so many of us, if not all of us, when we're really putting out something that is so important to us and it's so true to who we are. It's almost like we're saying, okay, this is me. If you're saying you don't like it, you don't like me, and that is really putting yourself on the line. And so that's when it becomes challenging to be able to create this mentality, which I've really really began to, I think, harness in these 90 days, saying, I am me, and not everyone may like me. Not everyone may like the message I'm saying. Some people may say the playful, loving message, or this silliness, or the inner child message I'm trying to share isn't being very kind to the challenging world that we live in. The world that isn't playful, isn't happy, isn't smiles. And that for me is taking strength, finding strength really, and saying, you're not my people then. This message isn't for you. Or maybe it is so much for you that I have to say it with more courage and more strength, because the people who find it challenging to love sometimes need to hear the message of love and the message of play even more. And finally, the last thing that I learned is my power. I had a men's circle that I hosted recently, and it was really beautiful. And we kind of shared a short topic on our power. Being able to talk about how powerful we actually are, and the fears that come up, the fears that stop us from really saying, whoa, what could happen if I step up? What could happen if I really allow myself to be powerful, to be who I am, to be seen for this amazing being that I was born to be? There's a gift that we have, there's a gift that I have, and what happens if I actually show it? Not what happens if I don't, because that's what we do almost every day when we hide ourselves, but what happens if I do show it? And one of the things that I reflect on in the 90 days is I definitely am aware that I didn't do that every time. Most times I probably didn't do that, but there were times, or there were videos or glimpses for me that I was able to step up really into my power. And it's so exciting. It's almost like me grasping at it constantly, because it's so inviting, this idea of how powerful I actually am. And this reminds me as well, because I know that there's nothing that separates me from you, and there's nothing that separates you from me. And so once I begin to really understand my power, I know that it is for everyone else as well. That your power is waiting for you to be grasped, and the same excitement can be had. So those are the main lessons I've got from this 90 days. I can only encourage you to try and do the same, something in your life that feels right. This is a 90-day impossible challenge. My impossible challenge, which completely changed over the 90 days, was to reach 1 million people with a message of love and play. And I no longer have that desire to reach 1 million people. I now have a desire to connect deeply with the people who need to hear the message that I'm sharing on how to be playful and connect with your inner child. The 90 days is about creating something that doesn't seem possible, which allows you to go for it no matter what, because you've already let go of the idea that you are going to succeed, that there will be failures. So there will be more videos. I will be sharing more, and I look forward to even myself seeing how they come out in the future, how they'll be. And I hope that you continue watching them. It's a blessing if if you, the viewer, you, the listener, get something out of them. It really is. And I would love to hear any messages from you guys on how these videos may have inspired you, because I only know when people share it with me. I never know who these really touch, who these really inspire until someone lets me know. Wishing you a beautiful rest of the day. Peace and love. Mwah.